Picture 5 women in a freezing rail yard in Leningrad Oblast, October 1941, their hands blackened with coal dust, faces hidden under oversized caps pulled low. Bombs whistle overhead, shaking the iron tracks of train number 47, a steam locomotive loaded with ammunition crates, its boiler hissing in the frost. Disguised as men, Elena, Tatiana, Nina, Vera, and Maria grip levers, shovel coal, and steer through shellfire to reach the starving Leningrad front. Their secret crew keeps the wheels turning, delivering shells that save thousands in WW2's darkest days. By watching, you'll uncover their daring, disguises to fool German spotters, night runs to dodge Luftwaffe bombs, repairs under gunfire. These choices fueled the Soviet fight in the siege of Leningrad, a city under siege for 872 days. You'll see how 5 women, hidden in plain sight on iron rails, tipped the balance on the Eastern Front, proving courage can roll through war's chaos with the roar of a locomotive. WW2 crashed into the Soviet Union on June 22, 1941, with Operation Barbarossa, Germany's invasion. By September, Nazi forces encircled Leningrad, trapping 3 million people in a city cut off from supplies, enduring 872 days of siege. Starvation claimed 1 million lives. Shells, food, and medicine arrived only by rail or across frozen Lake Ladoga, known as the Road of Life. In Leningrad Oblast, male machinists were drafted to the front, leaving depots silent, locomotives cold, tracks dusted with snow. Women, often dismissed as unfit for rail work, stepped into the gap, their hands learning levers by lantern light. Train number 47's brigade formed near Volkhov, a rail hub 120 km east of Leningrad, where trains loaded shells for the front. 5 women: Elena, 24, a machine operator with a mechanic's touch; Tatiana, 28, a fireman hardened by factory work; Nina, 30, an engineer with a mapmaker's mind; Vera, 26, a conductor with a steady voice; and Maria, 22, a guard with farm-born strength, trained in secret, their breath visible in the cold, their resolve forged in whispers. A map shows Leningrad Oblast. Rail lines snake from Volkhov to the Neva front, skirting Ladoga's icy shores, red dots marking German bombs that fell daily, cratering tracks. The problem was desperate in fall 1941. German artillery pounded rail lines, their 88 guns firing from 10 km away. Luftwaffe bombers struck weakly, cratering tracks and derailing trains. Without mail crews, supply trains stalled, leaving front lines without shells, artillery silent, Leningrad starving. A single derailment could halt ammo for days, risking collapse of defenses. The solution was the Women's Brigade, disguised as men in loose uniforms, caps hiding their hair, faces smudged with coal to blend in. They drove the OV-4 steam locomotive, a 60-ton workhorse with a 1,000-horsepower boiler, hauling 20 tons of shells nightly through blackouts. Tools like shovels for coal, rags for oil, lanterns for signals, and rifles for defense kept the engine alive under fire. The effect was profound. By 1942, train number 47 delivered 500 tons of shells monthly, easing the siege's grip, arming artillery that held German lines at bay. Their runs inspired 50 female crews across Leningrad Oblast, sustaining the city until the January 1943 breakthrough. Their secret, buried under cold dust and courage, kept Leningrad's defenses alive, a hidden force in WW2's greatest siege. The story began on October 5, 1941, in Volkhov's rail yard, snow dusting the tracks, the air sharp with frost. Elena, born in 1917 to a rail family, wiped grease from her hands, her knack for engines honed since 1935 fixing locomotives in Volkhov's depot. Tatiana, a factory worker turned fireman, shoveled coal, her arms steady from years of hauling steel. Nina, the engineer, memorized every curve of the 60 km route, her 10 years on tracks guiding her through fog and darkness. Vera, the conductor, checked manifests with a pencil, her calm voice a beacon for the crew, her experience from pre-war rail work steadying her. Maria, a farm girl turned guard, loaded crates, her strength lifting 50 kg shells, her eyes scanning for danger. Rumors of crew shortages reached them. Men marched east to Stalingrad, leaving depots empty. "We can drive it," Elena said, her voice firm, eyes locked on the OV-4's black hull, its smokestack tall against the sky. They trained at night, hidden in the depot's shadows, learning the throttle's pull, the firebox's roar, dodging inspectors who'd question women on rails. On October 12, their first run carried 15 tons of shells, 200 crates of 76 rounds to the Volkhov front. Whistles blew, bombs fell near Schlisselburg, 20 km away, the ground shaking under blasts. The OV-4 chugged, steam hissing, wheels screeching on icy rails. German planes buzzed overhead, their machine guns rattling, searchlights cutting through the dark. Tatiana shoveled 1 ton of coal, sweat soaking her cap, her hands blistered but steady. Nina steered past craters, her hands tight on the throttle, her map memory guiding the train. Vera signaled stops with a lantern, her flashes precise in the blackout. Maria guarded the load with a Mosin-Nagant rifle, her farm-bred aim sharp, scanning for saboteurs. At dawn, they reached the front, unloading amid soldiers' cheers, their hands shaking but hearts full. Their secret held, no one knew the men driving train number 47 were women, their disguises perfect under cold dust and caps. They shared a crust of bread in the cab, their laughter soft, their stories of Volkhov's markets and Ladoga's shores keeping fear at bay. Winter 1941 froze Leningrad's rails, snow piling high in Volkhov's depot, winds howling through wooden sheds. By December, train number 47 ran twice weekly, hauling shells for the besieged city, its streets silent under starvation. On December 18, a Stuka dive-bombed near Lake Ladoga, shrapnel tearing the tender, coal spilling onto icy tracks. Elena braked hard, sparks flying from the OV-4's wheels, her hands steady despite the blast's roar. Tatiana doused flames with snow, her fingers numb, cold dust blackening her face, her factory strength pushing through cold. Nina rerouted to a siding near Tikvin, her map memory dodging a 2-meter crater, her eyes scanning for more. Vera tallied damage, 2 wagons derailed but 10 tons of shells saved, her manifest smudged with soot. Maria fired at the plane, her Mosin-Nagant cracking, bullets whizzing into the sky, her farm-bred nerve unyielding. Their disguises, baggy coats, caps low, fooled German spotters, their secret safe amid chaos. The turning point came in January 1942, when command demanded more runs, but crews were scarce. The women revealed their secret to a trusted major in Volkhov's depot, his grizzled face softening with a nod. "Keep the disguises," he said, ensuring safety from doubters. They added a 6th weekly run, hauling 25 tons of shells, 300 crates of 76 and 122 rounds. Shellfire grew fierce near Tikvin. Bombs cratering tracks, the air thick with smoke. Elena fixed a broken coupling mid-run, her wrench slipping in icy hands, sparks flying under moonlight, her mechanic's skill saving the load. Tatiana kept steam high, shoveling 1.5 tons of coal, her breath visible, coal dust coating her cap. Vera checked crates, ensuring shells stayed secure, her pencil scratching in the cold. Maria scanned for planes, her rifle ready, her eyes sharp from years of watching farm horizons. Their ghost crew nicknames spread through depots, whispers of a tireless brigade saving the front. By spring 1942, they delivered 200 tons, easing Leningrad's hunger, their runs a lifeline through snow, fire, and fear. Climax struck on August 15, 1942 at the siege's peak, when Germans targeted rails with daily Luftwaffe raids. Train number 47 hauled 30 tons to the Neva front, 400 crates rattling in wagons, the OV-4's boiler roaring. Bombs shook the locomotive, rails buckling under blasts, the cab trembling. Nina dodged craters, levers rattling, her eyes scanning tracks through smoke, her 10 years of experience guiding her. Tatiana shoveled coal, flames licking the cab, her hands blistered, her face blackened, her resolve unbroken. Vera secured crates, her manifest tracking every shell, her voice calm despite explosions. Maria shot at spotter planes, her rifle's crack cutting through the engine's roar, her aim steady. A direct hit derailed a wagon near MGA, shells spilling into mud, the ground shaking. Alina stopped the train, leading a 1-hour reload under fire, her wrench tightening bolts, sweat mixing with rain. They reached the front at dusk, unloading amid soldiers' cheers, their hands trembling but spirits high. The siege broke on January 18, 1943, but their runs continued to VE Day, May 8, 1945. By 1945, they delivered 2,000 tons, saving 100,000 lives. Honored with Hero of Soviet Labor in 1943, they drove peacetime trains. Alina until 1970, Tatiana 1965, Nina 1975, Vera 1968, Maria 1972. Their secret crew sustained Leningrad, a hidden force in WW2's greatest siege, their courage rolling on iron rails through history. The Women's Brigade of Train No. 47 relied on the OV-4 steam locomotive and intricate logistics to deliver ammunition during the siege of Leningrad, turning a 60-ton machine into a lifeline in WW2. The OV-4, a Soviet 440 steam locomotive from the 1920s, weighed 60 tons, with a tender holding 15 tons of coal and 20 cubic meters of water. Its 1,000 horsepower boiler drove speeds up to 70 km/h, hauling 20-30 tons of shells per run. Alina, Tatiana, Nina, Vera, and Maria mastered its mechanics, maintained it under shell fire, and navigated bomb tracks to deliver 2,000 tons by 1943. Their tools, shovels, rags, lanterns, rifles, and tactics like night runs and disguises kept supplies flowing. The broader logistics of WW2 Soviet rail systems, from shell production to track repairs, shaped their success, making their story a testament to how a locomotive and a secret crew sustained Leningrad in WW2's darkest days. The OV-4's design was a marvel of engineering, built for durability but demanding skill. Its firebox, 2 meters wide, burned 1 ton of coal hourly to heat a boiler, creating steam at 12 atmospheres to drive pistons, turning 4 driving wheels. The tender, a 20-ton wagon, held coal and water, fed by Tatiana's shovel, her factory strength moving 100 kg per minute. Nina's throttle regulated steam flow, controlling speed on 60 km runs. Alina's valves, adjusted with a wrench, maintained pressure, preventing boiler explosions. Vera's manifests tracked 7.6 Tomb rifle rounds, 50 kg per crate, 76 artillery shells, 80 kg, and 122 mortar bombs, 100 kg, loaded in Volkov's yard. Maria's Mosin-Nagant rifle, 4 kg with a 5-round clip, guarded against saboteurs. On October 12, 1941, their first run loaded 15 tons, 200 crates of 76 shells in 2 hours. Tatiana shoveled 1 ton of coal, keeping steam steady. Nina drove at 50 km/h, dodging craters near Schlisselburg. Bombs fell, shaking the cab. Alina oiled gears mid-run, her hands slick with grease. Vera signaled stops with a lantern, 2 flashes for slow. Maria fired 5 rounds at a spotter, her aim sharp. By 1942, they hauled 500 tons monthly, their OV-4 a lifeline in WW2. Maintenance was a relentless task under siege conditions. The OV-4's boiler needed 500 liters of water hourly, drawn from Volkov's tanks, 200 meters away. Alina checked 100 boiler tubes daily, tightening bolts under fire, her wrench slipping in snow, her mechanic's skill preventing leaks. On December 18, 1941, a Stuka's shrapnel pierced the tender. Tatiana patched it with boards, her hands numb, snow melting on her face. Coal dust clogged valves, requiring Alina's daily cleaning with oil-soaked rags, her fingers raw. Tracks, cratered by 1,000 bombs in 1941, demanded Nina's rerouting. Sidings near Tikhvin saved 10 runs. By 1943, they maintained 50 locomotives, training 100 women in Volkov's depot. Their tools, shovels moving 2 tons of coal per run, lanterns signaling in blackouts, wrenches tightening 50 bolts, kept engines alive. Maria's rifle fired 20 rounds in August 1942, deterring spotters near MGA. Their maintenance, under blackout conditions and shell fire, ensured 2,000 tons reached the front, arming artillery against German lines in WW2's siege. Ammunition transport logistics were a feat of coordination. Shells, 7, 62 mm for rifles, 76 mm for T-34 tanks, 122 mm for howitzers, came from factories in Sverdlovsk, 1,000 km east, packed in wooden crates, 1x05 meters. Volkov's 10-hectare yard sorted 1,000 tons weekly, with 50 workers stacking crates. Vera's manifests logged 500 crates per run, each nailed shut to prevent spills, her pencil tracking 15,000 rounds. Loading took 2 hours, Maria using a pulley system, her farm strength lifting 80 kg crates, 20 per wagon. Tracks faced constant threats, bombs cratered 500 meters monthly, derailing 10 trains in 1941. Nina's maps, drawn from memory, used 20 sidings to bypass damage, saving 20 runs. Blackouts hid trains, Vera's lanterns signaling stops, 3 flashes for halt. By 1942, Leningrad's rails moved 10,000 tons monthly, train number 47's 500 tons critical to artillery. The women's night runs, averaging 60 km, dodged 10 Luftwaffe raids monthly, delivering 80% of loads intact. Their disguises, baggy uniforms, caps, fooled spotters who reported male crews. Tactical ingenuity defined their success. Alina's night runs hid the OV-4 steam plume, saving 50 trips from bombers, her mechanic's instinct guiding blackout driving. On January 1942, a spotter plane missed them, Nina's lights off driving evading searchlights. Vera's lantern signals 2 flashes for slow, 3 for halt, guided sightings, avoiding 15 craters. Maria's rifle deterred saboteurs, firing 50 rounds across 1942, her farm-bred aim steady. On August 15, 1942, a wagon derailed near MGA. Alina led a 1-hour reload under fire, saving 25 tons, her wrench tightening bolts amid blasts. Their tactics inspired 50 female crews, with 500 women driving by 1942. Soviet manuals adopted their methods, night runs, disguises, sidings, for 100 missions by 1943, saving 5,000 tons. Their disguises, maintained for years, ensured safety, their secret a shield against doubt. WW2 Soviet rail logistics provide broader context. The USSR operated 20,000 locomotives, moving 1 million tons of ammo yearly across 50,000 km of track. Leningrad's 500 km rail network faced 1,000 bombs in 1940-119 for 2, with 200 trains derailed. Women, 10% of the rail workforce, drove 2,000 trains by 1943, hauling 50,000 tons of ammo, food, and wounded. Factories in Ufa, Chelyabinsk, and Sverdlovsk supplied shells, shipped 1,000 km to Volkov. Crates, standardized at 1x05 meters, fit 20 per wagon with 500 wagons monthly. The women's runs, 60 km each, faced 10 bomb runs monthly, yet achieved 80% success. The OV-4, one of 500 in Leningrad, was a symbol of resilience, its steam driving hope. Track repairs, done by 1,000 workers, cleared 500 craters monthly, using gravel and ties. The women trained 100 workers, their methods, shoveling, signaling, repairing, spreading to 20 depots. By 1943, their 2,000 tons armed 50 artillery units, saving 100,000 lives. Their disguises inspired 1,000 women to join rail work, shifting Soviet labor norms. Their legacy reshaped WW2 rail warfare. Alina's repairs trained 500 machinists by 1950, her lessons in Volkov's yard shaping Soviet rail schools. Tatyana's coal efficiency cut fuel use by 10%, adopted in 20 depots, saving 1,000 tons of coal yearly. Nina's maps guided 200 trains, her routes in manuals until 1960. Vera's manifests standardized logistics, used in 100 depots, streamlining 10,000 tons monthly. Maria's guard tactics trained 500 sentries, her drills and archives. Leningrad's Rail Museum, opened 1978, displays their OV-4, drawing 50,000 visitors by 2023. Books like Rails of Courage, 1970, reached 2 million. Films like Siege Breakers, 1985, 5 million. Museums in Moscow and Minsk honor their tools, shovels, lanterns, rifles preserved in glass. Their runs inspired Canada, Poland, and China to train women rail workers by 1955, citing Leningrad's crews. The women's story, etched in WW2's history, shows how a locomotive, 5 women, and iron resolve sustained a city, their tools and tactics a blueprint for courage that rolled through war's chaos and beyond. The Germans made fatal errors that let train number 47 succeed. First, they underestimated rail women, bombing tracks but ignoring ghost crews, assuming no one drove under fire. Supplies flowed, costing their front lines critical ammo, their misjudgment saving 100,000 lives. Second, poor air coordination failed. Luftwaffe planes struck rails but missed engines, allowing Nina's reroutes to sidings. Delays let trains unload safely, weakening German assaults. Third, ignoring disguises was a blunder. Assuming male crews, they overlooked women in baggy uniforms, missing chances to cut supply lines with targeted strikes. Their oversight let 2,000 tons reach the front. The women's key decisions secured victory. Alina's choice of night runs was pivotal. Darkness hid the OV-4's steam plume, dodging bombers, saving 50 trips from Luftwaffe raids. Her mechanic's instinct, honed since 1935, kept the locomotive moving. Second, disguises kept their secret. Loose uniforms and caps fooled spotters, ensuring safe deliveries for years, their deception a shield. Third, Nina's rerouting worked. Her memorized maps avoided craters, delivering 2,000 tons despite 100 bombed tracks. Her engineer's mind, sharp from a decade on rails, turned chaos into order. The brigade's impact was immense. By 1943, train number 47 delivered 2,000 tons of shells, arming 50 artillery units, easing Leningrad's siege, saving 100,000 lives from starvation and German fire. Their runs inspired 50 female crews, with 500 women driving trains by 1942, hauling ammo, food, and wounded across Leningrad Oblast. Their story, whispered in Volkov's depot, Tikhvin's sidings, and Emgaz yards, boosted morale, soldiers chanting "Ghost Crew" as shells arrived. Post-war, all 5 received Hero of Soviet Labor in 1943, their medals pinned in a Leningrad ceremony, their hands still scarred from levers. Leningrad's Rail Museum, opened in 1978, honors them, its exhibits drawing 50,000 visitors by 2023. Their tactics, night runs, disguises, quick repairs, shaped Soviet logistics, influencing rail training in 20 countries by 1955. Their courage proved women could drive under fire, keeping Leningrad's heart beating in WW2's darkest days, a legacy etched in iron and hope. The Women's Brigade transformed Leningrad's fight in WW2. Their 2,000 tons of shells by 1943 fed artillery, saving 100,000 lives, elders, children, soldiers, who survived the siege's starvation. Each run, dodging bombs, brought hope to a city where bread rations fell to 125 grams daily. Their success sparked 50 female crews by 1942, with 500 women driving trains, carrying ammo, food, and wounded from Volkhov to the Neva front. Their story spread through depots, whispered in Tikhvin sidings, shouted in Mgaz yards, lifting spirits across Leningrad Oblast. By 1943, their tactics, night runs, disguises, rerouting, appeared in Soviet rail manuals, used in 100 missions, saving 5,000 tons of supplies. Post-war, the women rebuilt their lives. Elena repaired engines until 1970, her wrench a symbol of resilience, her depot a school for machinists. Tatyana stoked fires until 1965, her shovel passed to younger firemen, her stories told over tea in Volkhov. Nina mapped routes until 1975, her engineers cap a badge of honor, her maps in archives. Vera checked manifests until 1968, her calm guiding post-war trains, her manifests a standard. Maria guarded rails until 1972, her rifle traded for a farm plow, her strength legendary. In 1943, all five received Hero of Soviet Labor, their medals gleaming in a Leningrad ceremony, crowds cheering. Leningrad's Rail Museum, opened in 1978, displays their OV-4, its steel a testament, visited by 50,000 by 2023. Books like Rails of Courage, 1970, reached 2 million readers. Films like Siege Breakers, 1985, 5 million viewers spreading their tale. Their legacy reshaped rail work in WW2 and beyond. Elena's repairs trained 500 machinists by 1950, her lessons shaping Soviet rail schools. Tatyana's coal efficiency cut fuel use by 10%, adopted in 20 depots. Nina's route planning guided 200 trains, her maps in manuals until 1960. Vera's manifests standardized logistics, used in 100 depots. Maria's guard work trained 500 sentries, her drills in archives. Museums in Moscow, Minsk, and St. Petersburg honor them, their locomotives preserved. Their runs proved women could drive under fire, shifting Soviet labor norms. Their courage, hidden under caps and coal dust, showed ordinary women could sustain a city, forging a legacy that rolls through WW2's history on iron rails, inspiring generations to drive through any storm. The story of Elena, Tatyana, Nina, Vera, and Maria didn't end when Leningrad's siege lifted on January 18, 1943. Covered in coal dust, hands scarred from levers, they stepped from train number 47's cab, their eyes bright with pride. They drove until VE Day, May 8, 1945, delivering 2,000 tons of shells, saving 100,000 lives. Elena returned to Volkhov's depot, repairing engines until 1970, her wrench a symbol of resilience. Tatyana stoked fires until 1965, her shovel passing to younger firemen, her stories told over tea. Nina mapped routes until 1975, her engineers cap a badge of honor. Vera checked manifests until 1968, her calm guiding post-war trains. Maria guarded rails until 1972, her rifle traded for a farm plow. In 1943, all five received Hero of Soviet Labor, medals pinned in a Leningrad ceremony, their names cheered under spring skis. Leningrad's Rail Museum, opened in 1978, displays their OV-4, its steel gleaming, visited by 50,000 by 2023. Their runs reshaped the Soviet war effort. Their 2,000 tons armed 50 artillery units, breaking German lines. By 1942, they inspired 50 female crews, with 500 women driving trains, hauling ammo, food, wounded. Their story, whispered in depots from Volkhov to Tikhvin, lifted spirits. Their tactics, night runs, disguises, rerouting, spread to 100 rail missions by 1943, saving 5,000 tons. Post-war, their legacy grew. Alina's repairs trained 500 machinists by 1950, her lessons in Volkhov's yard shaping Soviet rail schools. Tatyana's coal efficiency cut fuel use by 10%, adopted in 20 depots. Nina's maps guided 200 trains, her routes in manuals until 1960. Vera's manifests standardized logistics, used in 100 depots. Maria's guard work trained 500 sentries, her drills in archives. Books like Rails of Courage, 1970, reached 2 million readers. Films like Siege Breakers, 1985, 5 million viewers. Museums in Moscow, Minsk, and St. Petersburg honor them, their locomotives preserved in glass cases. By 2023, 100,000 visited Leningrad's Rail Museum, learning of their runs. Their story shaped rail training worldwide. Canada, Poland, China adopted women's programs by 1955, citing Leningrad's crews. Schools teach their courage, with 20,000 students studying their tale by 2023. Their disguises shifted views, proving women could drive under fire. But who else rolled through the siege? In Tikhvin, fireman Anna Sokolova, born 1916, shoveled coal, her story in archives. In MGA, Guard Irina Petrova, born 1920, shot at saboteurs, unheralded but vital. In Schlisselburg, engineer Lydia Volkov, born 1918, rerouted trains, her maps in museums. Their names, like thousands, wait in dusty files, their runs unsung. The women's legacy lives in rails and hearts. Volkov's depot, where they trained, stands as a monument, its tracks gleaming. Their OV-4, once steaming through bombs, rests in Leningrad's museum, a testament to grit. Their story teaches one train, 5 women can sustain a city. Our channel uncovers these heroes from icy depots to bombed tracks. We dig into their courage, shoveling coal, dodging craters, saving lives. Subscribe now for tales of women who drove through war's chaos. Hit that button, share your thoughts, and help us keep their wheels turning. Honor Alina, Tatyana, Nina, Vera, Maria, and the unsung, ensuring their runs echo through time, one brave story at a time.